How are you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, March 9th, 2021, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to review the Elite performances and matchups from yesterday, Monday, March 8th. And of course, I'm going to preview everything that goes on today as we navigate through the world of sports one day at a time. So looking at where we are in the sports calendar, the NFL season is of course over. The Buccaneers are the reigning champs. They won the Super Bowl in February. The baseball season will start in the beginning of April, and then the NBA is getting off of their All-Star game weekend. Their first games back will be tomorrow, and I'll get back to you tomorrow once just to preview those games once they come up. Looking at what's going on in college basketball, there was only one ranked matchup yesterday. First-ranked Gonzaga hosted unranked St. Mary's for the West Coast Conference semifinal. And in this game, Gonzaga would pull off the 78-55 win after outscoring St. Mary's by 18 points in the first half. Their leading scorer was their forward, Drew Timme. He had 18 points and 8 rebounds. With this win, first-ranked Gonzaga is 25-0. They are 15-0 in the West Coast Conference, and they will advance to the final of the West Coast Conference tournament following this. Looking forward to what's going on today. Today will be the West Coast Final at 9 o'clock on ESPN. It's first-ranked Gonzaga hosts unranked BYU. Gonzaga is 25-0. They are 15-0 in the West Coast Conference, and unranked BYU is 20-5 as they are 10-3 in the West Coast Conference. Looking out to what's going on in the NHL, because of course the NHL is still going on, taking it division by division just to get a sense of where these teams stand within their own division. I'm going to start out west, starting out in Minneapolis. The Minnesota Wild hosted the Las Vegas Golden Knights and were able to pull up a 2-0 win after scoring in the first and third periods. With their 14th win of the season, the Minnesota Wild are now holding the third best standing in the West Division as they trail the first place Golden Knights by 4 points in the division, and they've played one more game than the Golden Knights. Jumping out to Denver, the Colorado Avalanche hosted the Phoenix Coyotes, and after scoring in the third period to break the tie, the Coyotes would pick up their 12th win of the season. With this win, they are currently sitting 5th in the West Division as they trail the first place Golden Knights by 6 total points. Jumping out to San Jose, the Sharks were able to beat the Blues in overtime as they did trail 2-1 at the end of the second period. They were able to score a goal in the third and a goal in overtime to pick up their 9th win of the season. With this win, the San Jose Sharks are sitting at the bottom of the West Division. They are 8th in the table. They trail the first place Golden Knights by 12 points in the table. And then jumping down to Anaheim, the Anaheim Ducks hosted the Los Angeles Kings as the two teams from LA face off against one another. And it would be the Ducks winning this one in overtime 6-5. For the Kings, the right winger Kemp would finish with a hat trick. He had 3 goals and an assist. And the center for Anaheim, Raquel, would finish with 2 goals and an assist. With their 8th win of the season, the Anaheim Ducks are now sitting with the second worst record in the West Division as they trail the first place Golden Knights by 11 total points in the table. That's the Western Division. Jumping up above the border, the Edmonton Oilers hosted the Ottawa Senators, and the Oilers were able to pull off a 3-2 win. With their 16th win of the season, the Edmonton Oilers are now currently sitting with the second best record in the North Division as they trail the first place Toronto Maple Leafs by 6 points in the table. The Vancouver Canucks were also able to host the Montreal Canadiens. And in this matchup, the Canucks would beat the Canadiens 2-1 via shootout. Their goalie, Demko, would finish with 29 saves as Price had 28. With their 12th win of the season, the Vancouver Canucks are now sitting with the 5th best record in the North Division as they trail the first place Maple Leafs by 12 points total in the table. And looking out to what's going on today in the world of hockey, just looking at the primetime matchups. At 6 o'clock, the Pittsburgh Penguins will host the New York Rangers on NBC Sports Network. At 7 o'clock, the Washington Capitals will host the New Jersey Devils on ESPN+. At 7:30, the Detroit Red Wings will host the Tampa Bay Lightning on ESPN+. And at 8:30, the Dallas Stars will host the Chicago Blackhawks on NBC Sports Network. And last but not least, taking a look at what's going on in the world of soccer as we are transitioning into a Champions League week. But of course, there were games yesterday because not every team is playing in a Champions League this week. Starting off in the Premier League, first Chelsea was able to host and defeat Everton as they scored off of an Everton own goal and a penalty kick from Jorginho. With this 2-0 win, Chelsea now sits fourth in the Premier League, as they trail third place Leicester City by 3 total points in the table, and they also sit 2 points ahead of West Ham United. West Ham has played one less game than Chelsea, so if once they even up, West Ham could pass them, but West Ham was able to beat Leeds United yesterday. The first goal coming from their newest playmaker from Manchester United, Jesse Lingard. And then also looking at in Serie A, Inter Milan was able to host and defeat Atalanta after a 54th minute goal, and they still are retaining the best record in the Serie A. With as many games played as AC Milan, they now sit 6 points ahead of AC Milan in the table, just to give a sense of where Inter sits within the entire league. And then looking out to what's going on today with soccer, the only place to really be looking is in Champions League. We have second leg action. First, Borussia Dortmund will host Sevilla in Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund currently leads the aggregate 3-2, so of course they do go into this with a bit of an advantage, and they outscored Sevilla in away goals. So Sevilla at least has to score 3 goals on the road to at least keep this game active. So that's what that's looking like. And for Juventus will host FC Porto, and this time is going to be in Turin in Italy, as FC Porto currently leads the aggregate 2-1, so they have the advantage. But I think, Juventus only scored 1 away goal, so Porto may have the advantage. But this will be a very impressive game as today goes on, and once these exhibitions for today are done, I will get back to everyone tomorrow on Wednesday, March 9th, 2021. So once again, I want to thank everyone for listening to my piece. I hope all is well, and I will get back to you tomorrow once everything's done. So thanks for listening to my piece. I hope all is well. Peace out. I'll catch you tomorrow.